um, it's not good or bad, but it's following our higher purpose. And sometimes we have to connect with our intuition and just ask, what is the best path for me to take for my soul's evolution, and just go with it, and don't second guess the choices that you make, because there's really no wrong answer. Because
hold on a second, Terri.
They say that we've scripted this ahead of time, so we just are following our path. So that's my
I like what you said about that too, because
hold on one second. Because people are watching on YouTube and they say they can't hear. So I want to give them a moment to say, can you hear now?
Well,
okay, so they said a problem with the sound. Can everybody hear now? Like, what can you hear? Like, Terri, can you say something?
I can say hi to everybody who's watching on YouTube and watching live on Facebook, and it's nice to have you join us live.
So can you hear both me and Terri now? I'm waiting for them to respond.
Yeah.
I hear from YouTube. Okay, but can you hear both me and Terri?
I'll say something right now. So hi to those on YouTube. Can you hear me?
Type quicker. Type faster. It's your responsibility. Okay, she said yes. Okay, so we can move forward. Now you can hear both.
Okay.
So hopefully everybody heard what Terri said, and she said some really awesome things. And I discussed expansion and stepping into our being, but I can discuss more of that later when I share the affirmations, because at this point we've been praying and wanting and desiring. And then we moved into a space of where we were now trying to embody these things, but then we reached a place of void because we've done all we needed to do, but now we hit a place of rest and just absorption and rest. And now it's time for expansion. Now that we've become the thing, now we have to actually be the thing and go out and do the things that are required as this new person that you set yourself out to be. Now it's time to put your money where your mouth is, like they say, and be a person of those actions. Dom, you were going to say something because we were asking anybody else put their 2 cents in of how you feel about this and how it's coming across to you during this time.
And the more that you quiet yourself and sit back, you're going to be able to hear it. Because the truth is always there. You just got to pay attention. Sometimes you need to just fall back and then hear yourself. You know what I mean? Because there's so many messages everywhere, though. The Most High of the universe got something for us if you really want it and you're really seeking it. Knocking that door should be open. But it's going to be tough, though. But at the same time, it's glorious once you get that message because it's always there.
You're basically saying being a part of a group, you can be bombarded with too many messages. And sometimes you take a step back and you begin to listen and you have to find, and then you begin to find your own way. And then once you try to merge back with the group again, it's like maybe there's I don't want to say disharmony, or dysfunction, but you don't reach that same connection. It's like groups, being a part of like large groups, they call it being a part of an echo chamber, basically, because you go there to hear what you already believe, right? And if you're constantly being bombarded with those thoughts, it just reinforced. These thoughts are constantly being reinforced, is what he was saying, because the sound did cut out. I see now that I can't press mute. So as these thoughts are being reinforced, it doesn't allow you to begin to think new thoughts. It doesn't allow you to begin to get your own messages because you're constantly being dragged into the group think. And that's powerful, this thing group think, because now it's, it's pretty much taken over you through the vibration of the group. So now that you had that time to spend time alone, you notice that everything doesn't necessarily jive up the same, and you don't necessarily feel the same or think the same or necessarily identify directly with all the thoughts that the group has. You begin to kind of drift away to your own space and your own way of thinking. Now, was that accurate, what you would say, Dom?
Pretty much so. It's not saying that you don't need to be around a group, or like you're saying, though, you need to think for yourself, because like once you're around so many people, some people thoughts become yours. When you're, you know how they say, when you're around somebody so much, you get to acting like them, talking like them, you know what I mean, and shit like that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's about the energy and frequency and vibration. Of course, though, you connect with who you connect with. But at the same time, like, once one in their spirit or their soul and their progression, they have seek what they have obtained from that level. If you're a seeker, you still trying to find, you're moving along. Okay, I've been here, I've done that. What else is there? What else is drawing me to that? That's my spirit aligning me with this. And when you got synchronicities, that's definitely letting you know. And the way that I have it, it's like constant smacks in the head, but it ain't no smack in the head. It's all about taking your time too. Cause like, see, this one thing that I wanted to say too and shit. Like, it's wintertime right now up here. It's snowing. Yeah, I'm manifesting in my mind. I'm thinking about what I want to do, but do I really need to create this right now? I'm making my blueprints right now, if you get what I mean. The spring is coming. What happens in the spring? Things blossom, flowers grow, beautiful smells, beautiful colors. And, it's all up to everyone else, though. You know what I mean? You have your way. And that's why I love people, though. Even though you clash with them and everything, sometimes it takes a moment to realize what you learned from that clashing moment. Could it be a fighter in anything or anything else? And this is one thing that I do think about all this galactic and ET type of situations and shit. Like, I look at us, like, I really think about that. And I thought about this ever since I was a kid, and hearing people who been in these levels and had connections with extraterrestrials and things. They look at us very, very primitively, because how can I not grow and another grow and I be upset with them or have jealousy for them and not appreciate that growth? Because it's all about all of us. Why can't we all come to fucking together instead of being mad at this person or jealous about this or that or that? But it's about that. And I think kind of reason people are not understand what someone is going through at that time, because everyone has their way. And when you really sit back and be like, hey, they doing their thing, just look at it. You will know spiritually whether you need to roll with that or move on. You know what I mean? But it's all about growth. And I've been working on clearing up everything, and I really feel good. Though I go through things, I still have my old little methods of getting pissed off and ready to knock somebody out. But at the same time, once my higher self, I'm in tune with this now. I'm learning thyself. The more I seek knowledge, the more I find myself. And that's the thing. I'm not worried about what everybody else can learn. I'm worried about what my spirit is bringing forth to me now. It's a spiritual thing. I'm not worried about this world.
Well, you said something important.
The more wealthy I will be.
You said something really important, because it's like once you begin to change, then people become resentful of you. I'm going to tell you what that is in my book. It's called zombie rules. Any zombie movie you watch, right? They can smell the live people and they begin to attack them because you're different. You stand out. I used to tell my son that, like, that's why people mess with you in school. You're different. They can smell that. They can see that. They can sense it. And they're like, you different. They're going to talk trash to you. It's funny because you can quit smoking, quit drinking, quit doing drugs. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm improving my life. Why are people mad at me for trying to be better? And I've had people say this before too, like, oh, I was mad at you because it looked like you was shining. Not that you was showing off, but just because it seemed like you was doing more than me. Or you seem like you know, that pisses people off, because what it is now they're looking in the mirror and looking at what they are not. And that's uncomfortable. And then too, what I would say when you're talking about this group thing, being in a group and then feeling like you're being pushed out of the group, always goes back to when we met in 2021, Terri, or 2022? 2021. 22. We had a very special conversation, and it was about the prime directive. Number one, when you are focused on your purpose, you have your own steps, your own path, and that is your prime directive. You will never get lost as long as you keep up with your prime directive, whatever your mission is. If you don't have friends, you still have the prime directive. If you don't have family or anything else, you know you're never lost because you have the prime directive. Your prime directive, what is your purpose? What is the calling of your higher self? What has been put upon you, or what have you decided to do with your life, with your contracts before you got here, the things that you already predestined yourself to do? As long as you got the prime directive, you can't be lost. You know, you can't really be alone. You're continually with source, and you always know what you need to do. So if everybody turns their back on me, so be it. I have my directive. So I suggest for people, figure out what your directive is. And if you're on your path, you're exactly right, Dom. Who cares how other people feel? Because you can't worry about that. If I'm on my way to the bank to get my $1 million check, and I'm just using this as an example, do you think I care if Terri mad? Like, wait a minute. I'm on my way to the bank. I'm about to cash in big. I'm going to have to deal with you later, if at all, if I got time. And I'm not trying to say this to be materialistic, but, you know, if you're hungry and you headed to the kitchen and it's time for you to get something to eat, and someone says, hey, wait, can you bring me a glass of water? You like, wait a minute, let me get my food first. You know, like, let me get the thing that is important to me, my soul's purpose. Let me work on that. And that's cool. You got a group, and that's cool. You got, you know, this and that and a book and a blah, 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 whatever it is that you got, a conference or whatever. But does it fit into what I'm doing? Is it fit into my directives? Sometimes too, it'd be like if I'm selling salt shakers, and then you want me to sell flat screen TVs. Well, people don't know me for selling salt shakers. I mean, for TVs. They know me for salt shakers. I'm the person with the fancy salt shakers. Is this in your wheelhouse? We're not talking about change, but is this on my path? Is this my thing? And, you know, so anyway, we'll shut up with that. I don't know if Jax had something.
No, I got nothing to add. I think you guys pretty much said it.
You think we beat it?
Exactly how you feel, Dom.
We beat it sufficiently? to death there, Jax? No.
I think you did. I think you beat it down.
So
I don't want to get too funky on here.
So Terri,
I'm just going to say, no matter where you go or what you do,
there you are.
Turn around there, and there you are.
There you are.
You're right. One constant in your life is yourself.
Yes.
So it's important to make friends and to love that aspect of your being, because you're always connected with their higher source, and we're all source, and we're having our unique experience, and so we have to honor that. And by giving ourselves away to everybody else, we first need to fill our cup before we start to share from the cup. And so it's important to be filled.
I love you to death because you taking exactly what I was saying. Because like the more that you love yourself, the more you see everything else. You see everybody else when you love yourself, and you love everybody else harder. That's what I'm learning. It's different, but I was loving everything, but we're not loving myself. It's a beautiful thing once you start loving yourself for real, for real. And people say, I love myself. Yeah, Dark Night of Soul is a bad motherfucker. Love y'all.
So we're gonna let you pull your cards, Terri, and then
okay. So today I've been drawn to pull from, and I don't use this deck very often, but it's the Colette Baron Reed, and it's the Spirit Animal Oracle. So I think it's connecting. This is kind of a little more whimsical in that the animals that we have around us have messages for us. And, you can go into work with the spirit animals, but this I'm just going to see what animals, like based on our conversation, what are they having to say? So I'm going to draw 3 cards here, but the first one I pulled is number 2, is the antelope spirit, and life is speeding up. Well, isn't it interesting? Everything around us, we can look at the world around us, and we are on an accelerated path right now, and things are happening very quickly. Today, I happened to look at something about the space weather, and we've got more stuff coming in, solar winds and stuff, and they said just be aware that things and time is speeding up, and we can see that all around us. So that the antelope spirit is just giving us that message, is that life is speeding up. So we can't just sit there and wait for things. We have to go out and do things, because if we sit and wait for it, it may pass us by, because we have to take an active part in our life. Like it's that time of sitting and just waiting is gone by. The next card is the koi fish spirit. There is always enough. And I think, Erica, this goes back to what you said earlier about somebody talking about being broke. It's like, no, there's always enough. It's just that how are we defining what we want as enough? Filling our cup. We can have a cup that's going to give us, the water, or we can have a gallon jug, but we're still only going to be able to take one sip at a time. It doesn't matter how big of a container you have. So we have to maybe step back and say, what is having enough mean? Like we have a tendency to think more is better, but maybe it's just what we have, what we can use at the present moment, because that's what we have. So it doesn't matter the size of the container, because we're only going to be able to sip so much from it. So maybe we have to redefine what is enough for us. And then the next one, that was number 36. And then the next one is the frog spirit, 28, and that's clear out the clutter. And I think, we talked about this all earlier, is that we do have, we're learning, we're gathering, there's new stuff coming in, and we have to just let go of the old stuff. I like to use that metaphor. If you're floating down the stream and you're stopped by the side of the by the bank and you're holding on to a branch, the stream keeps going, and you can get stuck there, and you're going to start accumulating all of the junk that's floating down the river is all going to come to you. But eventually you have to just let go of that branch to keep on going, and then all that stuff just dissipates. So we have to let go of things in our life that are not allowing us to move forward. And it could be going through that stack of papers, or it could be going through a closet, or it could be looking at the way that relationships are holding us back in life. Like, where are we moving forward to? Do we want to stay stuck at the way things were, or do we want to embrace that speeding up, that new spirit that's coming in, and just trusting that there will always be enough? If we're allowing ourselves to move forward, there will be enough. Something will come into our field as we need it. It will be there. And just remember that we can only take one sip of water at a time. It doesn't matter if we've got how big that vessel is. We can only just live in this present moment and just trust that things will appear as we need them to. And that's what I've been, what the spirit of the oracle has said to me. Do you have anything you wish to add, Erica?
Well, what I was going to go ahead and do is read these affirmations so that you can add these to your list of how you can connect and to your cosmic imagination. So you're only as big as your cosmic imagination. So don't put these limits on yourself, right?
Right.
I mean, if you can think about what you can do in the physical, then you are extremely limited. But if you try to input, or if you begin to input the infinite intelligence into what it can do versus what you can physically do with your hands, you begin to magnify. Like we said, we can expand into this being that we desire to be. So I'm going to go ahead and read these. And when you do, you're able to, read the programming and the suggestion, then close your eyes and repeat it to yourself at a later time. Relax for a few moments as you do, and mentally and physically close off your vibration by saying one of these following to yourself. So choose your favorite one. I like to do all of them. But anyway, so 1, I project a white protective aura of pure God light around me. I project a white protective aura of pure God light around the place where I live and work. My conscious mind sends love to the higher mind within me. My conscious mind identifies completely with the higher extensions of itself. I am one with the universal consciousness and the greater intelligence of nature and God within my body. Understand that what you see in this physical body, there are layers, the etheric body and other layers that you're in communication with. You're like a nesting doll inside this physical body, surrounded by these energy layers. These are bigger nesting dolls. You're only physically seeing one portion of your own soul. So remember that as you connect and you expand outward. Next, we're going to do some more. You can repeat these. I am at one with abundance, prosperity, and financial supply immediately, now, and eternally. I am at one with the perfect health throughout my body immediately, now, and eternally. I am at one with the perfect fulfillment in my chosen life immediately, now, and eternally. I am at one with the perfect love. That could be personal, financial, spiritual, or all else in my life immediately now and eternally. I'm going to say that one again, and I'm going to leave the middle part out. I am at one with the perfect love in my life immediately now and eternally. I am one with the perfect sex in my life immediately now within me. So if you wanted any of those, substitute it as you need, but understand that if you consider yourself and visualize yourself and feel at one with what it is, now you become this thing. So we have been becoming. So now we're going to expand into the actual action of being immediately, now, and eternally. I'm zipping my lips so you can say anything you want, Terri, because I talk a lot. See my lips?
Well, no, those are wonderful affirmations. And as you were reading them, I was just going through them, and you need to really bring them into that heart space and really feel them, and then move them out from there. You're going to put them into the links, right?
Yes, I will. And I'm going to say this because since the sound was messed up, we're going to now consider the end of January, since Pluto is in Aquarius. We're going through no retrogrades for the next 2 months. There's some beautiful days ahead. I can't name all the ritual days that are coming ahead, but this is now the time to light your candles. It's the time to just get it together and begin to do. And we're going to play the game that we used to play when we were little. It was called red light, green light, stop. Well, consider it now. You have the green light. Go, 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 go. Run, jump, play, get ready.
It's good for the hyperactive people, right?
Yeah, run, jump, play. It is time to be a child in your imagination. It's time to be a child in your heart. And it's time to just go and just do it as if sometimes we used to walk out and say, I can't do this because of that. I can't do. We're not doing that anymore. We can do anything we want. We can do it. We can get it done. We are at one with everything, peace, joy, love, and all that we desire immediately, now, and eternally. So,
Erica, I got synchronicity though with both of y'all real quick though, because I'm like, whoa, when you said that and you saying this white light or whatever, like for like the last couple of years, like I used to say like I want a violet flame or whatever, and then something just hit me. It's like you have this spiritual awareness once it's so fascinating because I always say place a golden crystalline energy bubble of protection around me and mine. You know what I mean? Then I may add on like you was adding on. So it's so weird that you have these spiritual affirmations without even knowing sometimes. And Terri, you went to drink that water. I ain't seen that glass in years. Those are glasses that used to be in my grandmother's house. I put that on everything.
There you go. There's a message for Grandma for you. Okay, so I picked one card here from this deck called The Path of the Soul, and it's number 23, and it's magical. Embrace the magic within all of your day-to-day experiences. Think back to the days of childhood when anything could happen. Begin to expect the unexpected. Many small yet wonderful surprises are coming your way. This is the calling of the universe to return to childlike wonder and belief that anything can happen. Look for the magical in the mundane and watch as life transforms from the ordinary into mystical adventure of the unexpected. So there you go. That's just sort of like the icing on the cake for a conversation.
Okay, I will end the live stream now. Have a great day, you guys. Thank you. In the comments, please like, share, and subscribe.
Hey.